expensive.
They are.
I know.
And after 15 days, I
And
said,
I'm trying to
Joseph,
avoid that.
I'm so glad we rented.
How old is your boy?
She'll be gone.
Well, we
You
have,
know what I mean? Very exact.
we've had it for 3 years, we think she was
Alone,
12.
not married, you know,
Yeah.
Oh,
divorced.
I think we're on.
You know what that's like.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so it
Thank
turned
you.
out okay.
Call to
That's
order
good.
the, March 3rd meeting, Design Review Board. First item on the agenda, the minutes of February 4th.
Yeah.
Previously distributed. Any questions, comments, changes? If not, I entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. We have an application from Capital One to change, to rewire and change some lights with respect to the door to their ATMs. Billy, would you like, since there's nobody here from Capital One, would you like to say a few words? Please. Or from the electrical contractor.
Good morning, Billy Gajak, on behalf of the village. So I just took a quick look at their proposal, and it's just to install a floodlight, what looks to be on the roof of the building. And best I can tell, the Safety Act requirements that they submitted doesn't have a real standard for requiring a minimum foot candle. So they might want to, or the board might want to consider requesting alternatives, which is not a floodlight, since floodlights are specifically prohibited in the village's lighting code. The code also has specific requirements for ATM machines or ATM facilities, which states that they have to, all the lighting fixtures have to be fully shielded, and prevent glare and light trespass and whatnot. So it might be a good idea to request alternatives.
Thank you, Billy. Yeah, when I
Isn't
looked
that
at it,
lit up pretty good inside the ATM machines?
there are lights inside, yes. I suspect their concern has to do with people going in, putting their card in that door to open it.
Oh, I got this.
I would like to recommend that we request someone either from the bank or from the lighting company, or preferably both,
You see how bright that is?
come to us and discuss alternatives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a question that, it's unsure to me whether the requirements of the ATM law supersede our rules, regulations, or whether in fact our rules and regulations supersede some of them.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think it would be very helpful if Pam, and she's already sent one request, if Pam requested people to come to our next meeting
Right. That'd be a good idea.
to help us explore alternatives. I mean, we've had lighting concerns in the past, and but this is a specific item that I think we can deal with the applicant's help.
Right.
Because that's pretty well lit up, right, in the front.
It's really bright
And the
there.
whole thing is well lit up.
Yeah.
Remember at the time when they came in with that proposal, they wanted to have lights going down Bonds Lane,
Yes.
and I didn't see what good that would do.
And there's one light just around the
If
corner.
they're on the
towards
pole.
Barnes- Yes,
Yeah.
Barnes Lane.
So I mean, that's all lit up pretty good.
So I think there's no objections. We'll ask them to come and talk to us.
That'd be good.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
That's a good idea.
Thank you. Mr. Siska. One in,
All right.
one out.
One in, one out. Wave me down when it's done.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Bruce Siska, owner of 17, 19, and 21 Race Lane. This deals with Building 17, which has been a seafood shop since it was built in 2000. Tony Minardi went in there, and due to the expansion of the front showroom for his showcases and everything, there's very little room in the kitchen, so he put the walk-in cooler outside and in the back there in the alleyway. and it's been pretty much there since 2002. So I was notified by Ken Cullum to come to the DRB to get approval to let it remain there, as it's better to have it there than having everybody run down into the basement to a cooler there too. So.
I understand your dilemma, and, you know, in the past, I've been irritated when things are done without approval. However, this was not done with your, as I understand, not done with your approval either.
No, it wasn't.
That it was just done. I also understand it does not require any, you know, variances. The pad is there, so it's, all that is legitimate. Whether we would have approved it 18 years ago or not, I can't tell, can't say. Are there any questions that the board has about the application to allow this cooler reef or whatever it is to remain where it is? And it's behind, it's basically not visible.
Yeah.
Correct? It's not visible from the parking lot.
No, because the fence is on both sides of it. There's a fence between the two buildings in the alleyway, and then there's a stockade fence next to Sam's parking lot that pretty much shields the whole thing.
You wouldn't hardly know they're there.
Right. I don't think it would be a problem for anyone for it to remain.
Can I have a vote, a motion to approve the application to keep the now conforming reefer there?
I'll make that motion to approve it.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Bruce.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. You can look in the window now. You could give him a nudge on your way out. I will. Yeah.
Rattle his cage?
Well, you can do it. Hey. Greg. Greg, you're having too good a time out there.
I know.
On the agenda is 66 Newtown Lane. Good morning.
Morning, board members. David Weaver, Walbridge Surveyors, representing the applicant. The applicant would like to clean up their parking lot in the back. I don't know how many of you have been behind 66 Newtown, but the island in the back is a mess. It's extremely uneven surfaces. The trees in the island have lifted the curb and lifted the asphalt. As a matter of fact, I don't know how many of you have been there, but I took some pictures for you.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
As you can see, we've got quite a mess there. The asphalt is ripped up, so not only has it lifted the curb, it has actually lifted the asphalt. And there's a serious trip hazard in that rear parking lot. So what the applicant would like to do is to remove those trees, repair the curb, and remove those two islands to create 2 additional parking spaces. If you look at the photo, you can see the islands are brick and concrete, uneven surfaces, and this would allow us to obtain 2 additional parking spaces in that lot. As you all know, parking is at a premium in the village.
I thought it was 2 handicap spots that were.
No. There are handicap spots, I believe, already. It's just to add 2 regular parking spaces. The island is actually the width of a parking space.
Right.
So nothing would change other than removing the island and then paving over where there currently is brick and concrete.
Excuse me, but Dennis, how many handicap parking spaces do you think there are in the area total? Do you?
I don't know.
Don't know.
I have to look at my photo.
Okay, thank you.
2 or 3.
And then the other part of this application, there's currently a split rail fence separating this property from the Skank Fuel property.
Yes, right.
People are just stepping over the fence, and the applicant is concerned, once again, for safety. They would like to raise that fence by putting up a 6-foot stockade fence, leaving the 2 access points that are there, that were there to allow access between the 2 properties, leaving those to remain, but in the meantime, preventing people from being able to step over the fence.
Would that be open or gates?
Open,
Open, okay.
just as it is today.
All right, and they, and presumably, once the island is, that Long Island's removed, they'll repave.
Yeah, they're gonna resurface the parking lot.
The entire parking lot?
Yes.
The front part's already
Right.
done.
And one last question about the fencing, because I thought that was a problem years ago, because I always saw people running across. So the fencing will be 6 feet high. Will any part of the fencing open as a gate, or will
We're
it
gonna
just be?
leave it open where the 2 access points are right now. There's
Oh.
2 places where there's access between the 2 lots, so we're not cutting off anything.
Right,
We're-
okay.
We're just making it so that they stop going over the fence,
Okay,
forcing them to use the access points.
right, exactly.
Right, and I'm sorry, and the fence will go the length of the property or just the back?
That entire side,
The east side.
where there is
East
a,
side, I meant,
yeah, the east side where there is a fence now,
Right,
there
so
is a
it-
post and rail fence now, so it's just replacing that same fence with a higher fence.
for the,
But along the property line.
along the property, along the east property.
Yes.
So I wasn't sure whether you're talking the fence just for the back part or the front part of.
No, not the back at all. There is no fence in the rear part.
Right, to me, back is the east side.
Okay, along the east boundary where the existing fence is now.
All right.
Yeah. I thought that was a problem 20 years ago.
Well, hopefully we can
I think
eliminate
it
it.
was,
Was, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Any questions, thoughts?
Could they make those 2 extra parking places handicap,
They're not wide enough.
not wide enough?
To
They're
add
not wide enough.
additional handicap spaces, we'd actually lose.
You would
spaces
lose
then
two.
Because we
You'd
need
lose.
Yeah, you would lose 2.
Because they're
Right.
basically 2.
Exactly. So the island's gonna stay? Are you gonna rebuild that, or you're
Yes,
just
we're
gonna?
gonna rebuild the island,
Okay.
yes.
Right, so you're removing the trees, rebuilding the island, repaving the parking lot,
Correct.
and putting a putting a stockade fence where the split rail fence now exists.
Exactly.
And one question, I noticed the brickwork around the tree areas, that brickwork, whatever it is, it's all gonna be straightened up or cleaned up.
It would be removed. That was just to fill into the tree and then
Right.
replaced with mulch.
Okay,
And the lighting stays the same, all that's
No
gonna go back?
lighting, no drainage, nothing changes. The grade of the parking lot's basically gonna be the same with a slight lift on it when we
Seems,
pave over.
it sounds reasonable. I always regret having to take any trees down,
yeah.
but I can see that the damage
Yeah.
that the trees have done.
Right.
And they do cause, as you said, a trip and fall hazard.
It does.
My motion to approve.
I would make that motion to approve.
I'll second.
Any other comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a mess the way it is now.
Yeah, it's,
Is there anything, Billy, have anything more? Ken? Board have anything to bring up?
I would, one thing on this property is on the, as you're pulling in the driveway on the left, there's like a wall on the left that's wood, split rail.
Excuse me?
As you're pulling in the driveway, there's a wall to the left
Yes.
that looks like it's kind of falling over, bordering the middle school.
I know what you're referring to,
Yeah,
yes.
is there anything gonna be done to remedy that part?
Not at this time. I have to hit our liability issues first.
Okay,
And I only have so much money in the budget,
got it,
but it is on our radar.
Okay.
And we do plan on doing something,
okay.
okay? I don't have any money,
Yeah.
more money.
Is that fence being sort of disassembled by age? Is that it? Is it falling down and being, like, coming apart?
The
Is that
school
it?
is higher
Yeah.
than our property.
Right.
So it
And
leans.
the
Yeah, it's
land
pushing
is
it over.
actually
It's like a
pushing
retaining
that
wall.
retaining
Oh, I see.
wall.
Okay.
There were no dead men, what they call anchors in the
Right.
wall when the
Okay.
wall was built, which
It holds it
holds
back.
it from the pressure, static pressure
Yeah.
against it. If you look at the wall, you can see that there were none constructed in there. So that would be a solution, but it's money and you need permission from the school to excavate on their property to put it in.
So it looks like a landslide is happening. and it's- the
Very
earth is
Very
moving.
slow.
Very slow.
We're also gonna have a hard time with timing too, because when school is open, it's a hazard
Right.
with the school, and in the summer, it's a hazard with parking lot and businesses.
Right.
So, you know, it's a delicate balance as to when and how we're going to address that.
And
So
if
it's
it
not
falls, and if it falls over, then
Then that's another problem.
timing becomes irrelevant.
Well, if it falls over, it's gonna fall over on the
I
first
mean-
median, so it's not going to interrupt the driveway. We understand that there's an issue.
Okay.
I don't have that kind of money.
It's been there since
Okay.
they built that building.
Thank you.
They put that wall in when they built that building.
One other thing,
The school is a lot higher ground.
Hampton's Film Festival came to us, they wanted 2 signs, the board basically said, we wanted 1 sign. And they have come back with 1 sign, one proposed sign on the window.
This is the vinyl sign that I read about? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't think there's anything the board has to do, is we,
No, you can just approve.
I just want to let, you know, for information purposes.
Sure.
Yep.
Anything else?
Anything?
Thank you all.
Thank you.
I think I made a motion to adjourn.
Yeah, did we do an adjourn motion?
Can
I don't think so.
motion to adjourn?
Make a motion.
I'll second.
Thank you. Thank you for correcting.
Thank you.